Hi, I'm Kirsty. I am 49 years old. I live in Sheffield. I'm a mum of 2 girls and 1 teenage boy, and I run a children's day nursery. So I was diagnosed with breast cancer. That was in October 2020. It was an advanced stage of breast cancer. I was already at stage 3 when I was diagnosed, and it was quite an aggressive form of breast cancer. It's a type of breast cancer that runs through your lymph system, so it already extended into my lymph nodes, and this was the first that obviously I knew about it when I discovered it. And within 2-3 weeks I was gowned up, having biopsies, and the news came very quickly afterwards that yes, it was breast cancer, was confirmed. This was during COVID, so it was an incredibly difficult time. The hardest thing, I felt that I could deal with it and I could fight it. The hardest thing was discussing it with everybody else. So breaking that news to my parents, breaking that news to the children, that was when it was heartbreaking. So having to sit down with my young girls at the time and let them know that it was cancer and try and reassure them that there were treatments available and that I was going to be, hopefully was going to be okay through the treatment. That was the hardest bit, because obviously their whole world falls apart when you get that diagnosis. So I got told about Cavendish and approached them and burst into tears as soon as I rang Cavendish. Spoke to a lovely lady who asked me, you know, what I was going through and what help I needed, and I sobbed down the phone at her for about 20 minutes. And she was wonderful, and she picked through what I needed, and I was really at that stage looking for help for the girls. I knew that they were struggling, particularly my young one. She was very anxious, she was worrying a lot about obviously whether her mum was still going to be around or not, and so I was looking for help for them originally, but then the engagement that I had was so fantastic. Literally from that first phone call, Cavendish were just amazing, and told me about a variety of different support things that they had in place that might help me to deal with some of these issues that I was dealing with, particularly worry, and also trying to take back some control. When you have a cancer diagnosis, everything is taken out of your control, and suddenly, you know, I'm a career woman, I'm a mum, I'm somebody who's used to being able to do things and organise things, and suddenly everything's just thrown in turmoil. So what Cavendish did was they told me about things that they had in place, things like nutritional courses, how to deal with worry, how to enhance sleep when you're dealing with a cancer diagnosis. Practical tools. I remember somebody from Cavendish saying, we give you tools for your toolbox, so when days get hard you have practical tools. So nobody said to me, don't worry, because you are going to worry. It's horrific, it's the most horrific thing that you're ever going to have to face. So nobody said don't worry, they said you will worry, and when you do worry, this is what you can do about it. And it was absolutely fantastic to speak to people who understood and knew what I was going through and could give me practical tools to be able to let me take control of my life again, and to try and feel confident and positive about the future again. But the Cavendish Cancer Care give that holistic approach. So it's not just about the individual who's going through the diagnosis. They were amazing in supporting my whole family. So my husband had counselling, the girls were given art therapy, but Cavendish Cancer Care found a way of still maintaining that service, whether that be, so for my eldest daughter, we decided art therapy would be a fantastic route for them, to give them a way to be able to discuss their emotions and things that they were worrying about. And that was done at the time, that was done virtually with an art therapist based here. A box of creative resources came through the post, plasticine and pens and all sorts of things that she could sit at home and still fully partake in art therapy.
Hello, I'm Charlie. I've been with Cavendish Cancer Care for 23 years. I was a hands-on therapist, offering 3 different therapies for about 20 years. And now I manage the Buddy Support Service, which is a telephone support service, so I've got the fancy title of Buddy Programme Lead. I think it's been accepted now more and more that cancer and cancer treatment does affect people, affect their mental health, and one of the roles, I think really one of the big roles of the Cavendish is that we can support people in a way that the NHS can't. They can't provide this service. And we can, obviously we can do it very well. We've been going 30 years now. So we can provide that kind of care and support for people really well. Places like the Cavendish are few and far between. And I think it provides a bit of, it's a kind of a safety net in a way, that people can feel that they are being supported, and they're being supported by a caring organisation, they're being listened to, and they're being helped, and people come back to us. People come back and have the therapies, and they can come back at any time, so people may come for initial course of treatment, and then further down the line they may have gone through some other treatment, medical treatment, they feel they need the support again, they'll come back again and we give them more support. So I think it's just giving people that, just to know that there's somebody there for them. We're always there for people. What is unique about Cavendish Cancer Care is the people. It's the quality of the therapists and of the staff and everyone involved with Cavendish Cancer Care. It makes the Cavendish what it is.
It's really difficult. I found it very difficult going through my diagnosis to talk about what I was going through. Lots of well-wishing friends said, "Oh, my friend was diagnosed with breast cancer, you should get in contact with them." And I couldn't talk to anybody about my diagnosis because it all felt too big. It was my story and I couldn't listen to anybody else's stories. That was just too big to deal with. So Cavendish Cancer Care just felt so warm and friendly and welcoming. And not only that, but then, like I said, giving you those strategies, those practical strategies that I could put in place. I cannot speak more highly of the support of Cavendish Cancer Care. They're just, the minute that you reach out to them, they're there for you, and not just for that moment, they're there for life. They're very keen to let you know that once you're part of the Cavendish Cancer Care family, that's it, they're there as to support you. I've had reason just recently to reach out again for some more support for my youngest daughter, and they're still here. They're still here and they're there, and as soon as you ring them, you're there, and it's like, not a problem at all, let's see what we can do for you again, which is just such a wonderful support mechanism. I literally cannot speak more highly of the work that they do.